Recording.
All right, so the first thing I'm gonna post up during our wonderful time in quarantine is going to be hummus. With the hummus, I've got right here just one bag of hummus that I cooked in a crock pot overnight on low. Lots and lots of water, a tiny little dash of cream of tartar. I may show you that at some other time. I'm tired, so we'll just go with this. So we have the hummus, we have the chickpeas right here. In addition to the chickpeas, I've got salt. Go ahead and start with about 1.5 teaspoons of salt and just adjust it from there to what you like with. I've got about 2 teaspoons here, but that's what I like. Garlic, go ahead and start with 2 cloves of garlic and then adjust that to what you want. Don't do this when you're sick. I made this one time for my spouse and they took it to a gathering with people. I had a stuffed up nose. I started adding garlic until it tasted good to me. The feedback I got was it was garlicky as hell, but so delicious. So that confuses me. If it was too garlicky, then why were they complaining? But they were eating it. But anyway, so garlic, normally start with 2 cloves, adjust from there. I've got about 4 here. Cumin, a teaspoon. I've got about a full teaspoon here. 5 tablespoons of lemon juice and about 1/4 cup of oil. So I'm just going to go through and start making it and add the stuff as we go along. So this is all in here, and now we be loud. When you're doing this, you're going to have to keep pausing to scrape the sides down and mix things back into it. Yeah, but these started out like a little pebbly rock thing, so it's funny how big they grow. So the camera's been a pain all day, so I'm not really going to move the camera around to do it. But and this has a blade spinning in it, so that could be bad. But if you can see on here, don't do this at home, kids. If you can see on here, you can see on the side how it's all starting to mash up. Yeah, hummus is mainly chickpeas. There we go. Starting to mix together really nice. So I've got it now to where most of the chickpeas are broken up and nice and pasty. So, well, there just went a lot of the salt. And that's why you put extra in there. The garlic, like I said, start with a little bit less unless you're actually sure. Cumin. I washed and bleached the counters before I started. This is the spatula that came with the stuff, with the Cuisinart. So might as well use it because it's actually kind of nice. Good shape on it. Alright, so here's the lemon juice. I'm just going to go ahead and pour that in. And normally you would start with like 5 tablespoons, but I've actually got a little bit less in here. The reason for that is so I can adjust it once we get a little bit further along. We had a thick paste, and what we're adding the lemon juice to it now for is to kind of lighten it up a little bit and make it nice and smoother. This is almost to where I'm happy with it. A little more lemon juice. Isn't that cool? It's a cup measuring cup. And just a little bit more. So I added, altogether I added to this batch about 6 tablespoons. And there we go. That is a lot nicer. Obviously that looks nicer than what it did when we just had the chickpeas in there and just started. And I was also experimenting this time. Every other time I've done it, I've only done a, once I've made the chickpeas, I do it in half batches usually, half the chickpea bag. But this time I just kind of wanted to get it done and over with. And I realized one of the most important ingredients I forgot, so I'll be right back. Multiple different brands of it out there, but it is tahini, roasted sesame seed paste. If you look in there, you can see it's separated. If you get one and it's not separated, don't use it. This stuff should separate, and if it doesn't, that's kind of bad. But we're just going to get this. and kind of mix it up. I know it's weird that I'm going through and mixing it up, and I probably didn't need to, but it's just habit. So when you set everything up, try and make sure you get this set up beforehand too, and don't be silly like I did. See, I make mistakes. But when I got this, I had it measured out so I could do X number of batches from it. And this is like 4 or 5, but this is the last one. So I don't need to measure this. I know that it is about 1/3 of a cup. Well, I guess technically 2/3 of a cup, because I'm doing a double batch. But you want it to be like melted peanut butter when you're actually adding it to there. Because I was stupid, I'm actually going through making sure to get it all. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that would have tasted very wrong had I not added that and then served this. It would have been much sadness. And then at this point, we just go ahead and let it mix some more. You can pulse it if you want to, you can, and that was my phone. My phone makes weird noises. But because I didn't get the tahini right in the very beginning like I wanted to, I'm giving it one good mix. Go back to this. Now then comes the fun part. So now we've gone through, we mixed it really good. You could serve it this way, but it's not going to be quite what you want. Here is the oil. Like I said earlier, I started out with the measured amount, but then I've got more here in the background just in case. And with this, everyone talks about extra olive oil. There are certain celebrity chefs that make a name off of their abbreviations for it and just all this other stuff. Virgin olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, means there was no heat used in getting it from the pits, the olive pits. So cooking with it completely disregards the part for the extra olive, the extra virgin. So if you're gonna do, there's nothing wrong with doing that. Just don't use oil that you paid extra to get the virgin or the extra virgin type, because that's just wasting money. When you're using the expensive extra virgin olive oil or the scent enhanced or the infused or whatever, these are the types of things that you would want to use it for, because there's no extra heat. I'm not cooking this. I'm not getting rid of that fruitiness that was the whole point of doing the extra virgin in the first place. But I've got the oil here. We're gonna pop the lid on. Apparently this is loud, and so when I talk, I have no idea if you've heard everything that I've been saying while it's on, which is really important because I've actually given away the lottery numbers for the next 3 years. But I'm just opening this up and I'm gonna pour it in, and you'll see what happens. So yeah, I taste things a lot as I'm going through and cooking, just so I know what I need to do on it to adjust flavors, because it's a lot easier to do it now when it's in here than later when it's on the serving tray or whatever. But for this, I've got the bowl right here to put it all into. And this is why the stiff scoop is so nice. You know, this is one of those things that's really nice. You can make it really easy to take to a party. It can give you lots of snacks for your place. The most time-consuming part of this is the chickpeas, soaking those overnight. And honestly, with that, if you really want to, you can go through and get some cans of chickpeas. Or garbanzo beans. Garbanzo beans and chickpeas, same thing. No, they really are like literally the same thing. In the past, I have been known to lick this. I'm not going to do that this time. Just because I don't want people copying too much I do at home. And those are very, very sharp blades. Surprisingly sharp. But yeah, one thing I wanted to make sure everyone knew, yes, I use stuff off my counter. That's because I clean the counter. I got yelled at because I used some of our limited supply of bleach wipes to go over the counter. And I kind of do that all the time whenever I'm doing any of these videos. Just because I want to make sure it's all clean. All right. So once you get to this point, you could choose a bowl that fits into better than this, because I wasn't really paying attention. You could put it into Tupperware containers. Not the quart size, but like the smaller. I can picture it in my mind, but there's a size that works really nice. So you got this all right here. I've got hummus on my hands. You get to wait a moment. So at this point, we finish with a little paprika. Paprika, to me, I'm not really adding enough to add flavor, but just enough to make it look pretty. And then a little drizzle of olive oil onto it. Again, like I said earlier, if you've got the nice olive oil or things like that, now would be the time to add it. And then some pita chips. You can use the fried ones. You can use, I think these are a bag we got from Costco. Yeah. Lunch for a while, although it's still kind of warm, which is weird, because I just cooked it. The beans, I cooked the beans. I mean, it's not hot, but it's warm, which is weird. Yeah, go ahead and subscribe, share this. I'll post more things. Maybe one day I'll actually get a camera and not a phone. We'll see what happens. Enjoy.